Yeah. We didn't counter for how many times Johnny Somali has screwed himself over. That's what we need.
Things, like last time things went awful for Johnny, this time it went terrible. He even got humiliated in court. I mean, it was really bad from the start. And just to start things off, I'm gonna run through the whole trial so you guys kind of get a picture of how things were, even though you guys weren't there.
All right.
So there was a few people there. There wasn't that many people this time. But Johnny at 3:59, Johnny's lawyer came in. So right on time for the trial and so on. Then at 4, a woman walked in who apparently was a witness. We didn't know of her. We hadn't seen her. We were assuming that Bong Bong was going to testify today, but apparently not. Then at 4:03, Hank walked in. And
Hank is his, accomplice, his boyfriend.
Also confirmed that Hank is still associated with John.
His boy toy.
Then at 4:05, so this is 5 minutes after his trial started, Johnny was still not there. So Hank, he starts panicking and talking to the lawyer, and they don't know where Johnny is. So then Hank has to run out of the courtroom and I guess call Johnny and figure out where this guy is. So moving on with my notes here, let's see, 1 second. Then we have at 4:07, Johnny then walks in, this time respectfully, in a fitting suit. It seems like Johnny realized how bad things were and finally took the cue, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna lock in.
The first time he went in with a horrible suit and started being really disrespectful. Respectfully, yes, compared to the first time he showed up in court, he was awful. He was like disrespecting the judge, not respecting people's time. He didn't come he was basically disheveled and just awful. Was he hungover? I think he was. I'm not sure. It's like that was a Trump mega outfit. Was it actually?
Because clearly things are not going well for him. So then everyone sits down, or everyone stands up, judge walks in, everyone sits down. Okay, court starts. So then at 4:12, Johnny then confirms that he is still a quote-unquote student and that he still actually lives at Hank's house.
Sure.
So that's interesting because Hank is going on to say, oh, Johnny does not live with me. I do not help Johnny anymore. I'm not associated with him anymore. Apparently that's not true. So then we have the 8 charges that he's currently facing. Right. I have Gabe with me here who's been helping me translate and also find all the location and everything, and so on. So shout out to this man for being here. But essentially, so there's the first charges they talked about were it was the business obstruction charges, and they were related to the buses.
Yes,
correct?
This is the new charge that they announced today. So this is the one that we didn't know for sure, but I predicted was going to be the bus incident on the 27th.
So that was was it 7011 bus or was it 7013A?
It was 7011 and 7013A.
Okay, and then you had another bus 20. Oh, so it was a 2024 incident. That's why it was bus 2024. Okay,
yes,
so that's
yes.
okay.
The stinking fish.
Okay.
For those that don't know, he brought a stinking fish into a bus and started throwing it around, and that's considered like public disruption or whatever it's called. Yeah.
So that's why, that's also why they're adding it to this case, among many reasons.
Yeah, it was rotting, you're right.
All around the same time.
It's disgusting.
So they consider this a crime spree.
Okay.
A crime spree?
So the first 2 disturbances, so the first bus, that was for playing NK
How does he not just get knocked out? Because Korea is a homogenous, polite society, and causing public disruptions is rude, and people generally don't really do that. That's why it's probably was a really good idea for him to do this kind of thing, because people wouldn't be so inclined to teach him a lesson. He did get knocked out? Yeah, but that was like after a while of him doing this kind of thing. Like, if you went to New York City and you started throwing around a rotting fish on the subway, someone will knock you out like in 2 seconds flat. That's all I'm saying. You're lucky if you don't get shot, if anything.
Propaganda on the bus.
People don't tolerate that shit.
And then the second one was for just text-to-speech donations and just, disturbing the peace on the bus. So
noises and
loud
refusing
noises.
to turn it down.
Yes,
causing a
and
disturbance,
interacting.
and also the live streaming. That in itself they consider to be a disturbance. That making other people feel uncomfortable if you have your camera. Like right now we're here, we're not putting people in the frame, right? If you're on a bus, you're live streaming other people as well.
Yeah.
So that's considered a disturbance as well.
So then at 4:15, you had that moment where they went, "Oh, if you change the time, we plead guilty here." And that didn't fully make sense to me. So, like, what was that about? Because that was what Johnny's team said.
It's very common for an accusation to have like some small mistake, like it be a date or a time. Or a location.
Yeah, that
It doesn't
happens.
really matter.
Okay.
If you say no, it wasn't this day, it was that day, it's still a crime.
Right.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Yeah.
But Johnny nitpicks about stuff like this, and the lawyer brought that up as an argument. And so the compromise was: do you admit to everything except the date that this happened? Yes.
Yeah.
He admits to everything except
Womp
for the date.
womp.
Okay, that's a guilty plea.
Okay, so yeah, then he pled guilty for all the obstruction charges. So all 4 obstruction of business charges, he pled guilty for.
Right.
Then, so because of that plea, then the witness got up and left because they no longer needed her to testify against him because
Yeah.
we were assuming that the witness was one of the workers at Lotte World who witnessed him, disrupt and stop the
Yeah.
ride and do all the stuff he did there.
Yeah, when she turned around, I recognized her from the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
100%. I recognized her from the video.
Okay. So then you had the whole deepfake charges. So the lawyer then said that
I was actually I didn't do the crime at 3 p.m. I did it at 1 p.m. Because of how bureaucracy works, it's important. Like, they have to be concise. And in Korea, they're a very bureaucratic, like, government. Yeah, they don't fuck around. So
Johnny
yeah,
was
I get
intoxicated.
it. It's annoying.
So they used him
Stupid,
being
but
intoxicated
it is
as an
what it is.
excuse for why he distributed those.
Their number one argument is that, and this was his lawyer finally making an argument, which they've been asking him to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what you're supposed to do in court.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying, "Oh, I gave you the evidence," or "Oh, I'll tell you later." But finally, they got him to make an argument, and his number one argument was he did not produce the deepfakes, even though I think he probably did.
Ah, so he wasn't the he was the one that was distributing it, but he wasn't the maker of them. That's the excuse. I don't know how the law works.
All he did was to distribute them.
Yeah.
So you admit to distributing them.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So that's
the
essentially what
crime.
happened. Yeah.
But he is insisting on a not guilty plea. So it looks like his lawyer or somebody was able to convince him that the Lotte World charge was a lost cause. Mm-hmm. And
What are these semantics? Unfortunately, that's just how court systems work. But it's pointless because the crime is a production's distribution. We don't know how AI laws work in Korea. I can't say for certain. I'm not a Korean lawyer. I'm guessing you can fight them on semantics and that kind of thing. Legal Mindset went over it pretty well. Again, you have to know what you're talking about. I don't. I'm just speculating.
so they.
Yeah, he still did the crime.
That's
Absolutely,
like,
I agree with you.
Johnny
Yeah.
gave
He's a scumbag.
Interesting.
guilty plea, changing the plea from not guilty to guilty for Lotte World,
Yeah.
but insisting on not guilty for the deep fakes.
Okay. And then that's when that a new dialogue started because that's when the prosecution wanted to bring in witnesses for the deepfakes, and Johnny's lawyer did not want witnesses involved at all.
Right?
So then, what happened after they didn't want witnesses? What did the judge say, and how was the reaction of the court then?
This was interesting. He, since he got overruled when he tried to block the witnesses.
Yeah.
They do not want Bong Bong to testify. They don't want Yongman. They don't want either of them to testify. That's
Okay.
clear.
Yeah.
We've known that for a long time. But yes, he was actively in court trying to block them, and he was overruled on that.
Good,
So,
good.
But since they're having the witnesses, the lawyer requested more time than usual
Okay.
to examine them.
So
Why?
What's a normal
What?
time to examine someone, you think?
It depends on the case, and all that. They'll set it, and for this, they set 15 minutes for the defense for the lawyer to interview the
Okay.
witnesses. They set 15 minutes, and since he couldn't block it, he wanted more time with the witnesses, which means if they can't block the witnesses, they really want to grill them. So he might be planning on going all in on Bong Bong.
Oh, wow. Okay, so is it Johnny's lawyer that's grilling Bong Bong or the prosecution that's grilling
Who's Bong
He'll be
Bong?
first
Is
the
that a
prosecution
witness?
For 15 minutes, and
Yeah.
the next is Johnny's lawyer for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then the judge
Bong.
might ask some questions as well.
And then you have another.
Oh, it's a
witness as well.
witness.
So
Yeah.
it would be times 2 essentially.
Exactly.
Oh, the streamer he harassed, the deepfake girl. Yeah, the girl that's. Yeah. Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
then another times too, because they're
Bong.
going to do a translation for everything.
Oh
So
wow.
that makes
Okay.
it twice as long.
Okay. And that's happening in October. And then other than that, like, so then you had what were the minor crimes charges? Were they ever brought up during this case or trial?
That is settled that the plea is guilty.
Okay.
Minor crimes, and now we can say obstruction of business. The plea is guilty for 6 charges.
Okay. Interesting. And so overall, how was Johnny's lawyer?
Flustered, definitely
Yeah,
out
I
of his
bet.
depth.
Dude, imagine having to do this case for Johnny. Like, you get appointed to it, you're like, oh, frick.
I kind of feel bad
I
for
have
him.
to do this for
Yeah.
this
He was
clown.
pressured by Hank's family to be a part of this case, and I think he's trying to do his best to balance between Johnny and normalcy.
Yeah.
Normal, like, sane, actual normal procedure.
Yeah. And how's the prosecution handling this case, you feel like?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously very professional.
Okay.
Right.
So would you consider them to be pretty aggressive on this case, or how would you rate it?
Yes, I would say today they were aggressive on it. The paradox is, how can you simultaneously admit to having distributed, which is the crime that it's accused of, and insist on this not guilty plea?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's just, it's thinking, like, the more I think about it, the crazier it is. But
Yeah.
that's what we just witnessed.
Wow.
Is this lawyer using Johnny's argument,
Yeah.
saying,
Well, he doesn't have an argument. He can't counter it with, like, oh, man, like, geez, why did I swing that fish around? Oh, because I'm mentally ill. He doesn't even have an insanity case pleading for it. He's just awful.
okay, I didn't make it, so I'm not guilty. Even though,
Yeah,
again,
I
I think he did.
And also, like, the whole charge is for the distribution. So they're like, oh, we didn't make it. I did distribute it, though. But I was drunk. That's essentially what we're seeing
Yeah.
unfold.
Yes, that's the mental gymnastics that we saw happen today. Lawyer was very flustered, turning red, stuttering. I don't think he has a natural stutter like Hank, but he does have a strange way of talking.
Yeah.
But he definitely seemed very uncomfortable.
I'd be flustered too,
Interesting.
man.
Did the judge give any reaction to this, or was he confused, or how was the judge reacting to this?
The judge, as usual, is very, sort of above everything, above the fray, and was very calm and very patient with the process. But he's also the one who said, "No, you cannot block these witnesses, and no, you cannot extend your interview time."
Ooh,
Right.
base judge.
Wow. Do you
Unfathomably
have any
based.
other overall thoughts on this trial?
That was crazy. That was just insane.
And
Just all this stuff. There's so much stuff that's just unprecedented. It's stuff you just don't do.
okay, yeah. So this is just an absolutely not a normal
This
trial.
is
at all.
like it's almost like Monty Python.
Really? Okay, so it is just a full-on clown fest.
It's a clown fest.
Okay.
It is
No
absolutely a
shit.
clown fest.
Dude, I hope they teach him a lesson and he goes and picks cabbages in South Korean jail for like 15 years or something. Let all these nuisance streamers see that and be like, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't do this.
If you were going to give a prediction of like how the prosecution was and like in previous cases you've seen in Korea, what do you think the most likely sentence that he will get from all this is?
At this point, I think the prosecutor is going to say something like 4 or 5 years. Maybe
Wow. Okay.
Because of Johnny's insistence.
Yeah.
And because of his insincerity with his guilty pleas.
Yeah. And now, I mean, finally he's locked in, but it also seems like it's kind of too late to start acting like he's actually sorry. Because he didn't actually act like he was sorry today. He was just being respectful.
No
he was
shit.
being a normal person today, from what I saw. And that's really it. Yeah, the bar is really set low. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's
I
gonna
think
show up with a
that's
Trump
all
mega head
for
this
now.
time.
I'll be making
That's
a full
crazy.
video soon. What would you say?
Hank was fine. Johnny's behavior
Yeah.
was fine.
Yeah.
Lawyer, just feel bad for that guy.
Well, that's it.
I
Thank
feel
you guys
bad
for the
for him,
support,
too.
and I'll see you guys when I make a full long-form video on this. I'll see you next one. Peace, guys.
Peace! That was fun. We got a live update from Atozy, dude. He was in Korea, yeah. He still is, I think, there, but I think he's flying back. Somali set the bar so low, so managed to bring a shovel and played limbo with the devil. And he keeps making it worse, like threatening the judge and the lawyers and all that. Yeah, go check out Atozy, man. It's laughable. It's embarrassing what he's being able to get away with. I wish the world worked this way, where obviously this isn't realistic because countries have different laws and countries don't do like cross-secting, you know, court cases. But I wish that when he got banned from Japan, I think it was, I wish they would take that into account in Korea, even though it doesn't work like that. I wish they would, and it like doubles your sentence or something.